Hey, what's up YouTube? Skybadger here, and we're back for another action-packed, personally depressing episode of our 100-player fan game series. So, before we get into this episode is pre-recorded, and I'm going to apologize now for how late this is uploaded. I didn't have time to record the audio, and I didn't want to jump like 4 days ahead. So, I mean, you're going to have to wait. Also, on that note too, the next RLF vs Elites episode should be up by the end of the week, assuming I can find time to record that audio as well, which I'll probably do right after this. So, let's jump into the action before the depressing. So, at this point in the war, our South American allies have attacked the Europeans, and all is going well. The Europeans have suffered a major blow as the United Kingdom has been kicked for multi-accounting. So, you know, when I was setting up this game, I did make it clear in the rules that multi-accounting and cheating would be, punished. So, this player has been banned and kicked from the game, which has severely weakened our enemy. If we also have a look in the newspaper at the world's mightiest armies, we can see that we have fallen down a bit and we're not actually looking too good. We're in about 12th place. On the index nations, though, we are in 7th. Now, this brings me to the depressing part of the video. So, while I was out enjoying a nice meal with my family and sleeping, I sent my first fleet off the coast of Japan. And it was sunk. And there was nothing I could do. Although I was able to take down many national Chinese ships with it, without my command, the fleet was sunk. And it really hurts me to say that. So, if I had been there to command it, it would have gone differently. In fact, we'd be a lot higher on the world's mightiest armies as well, but considering now 3 battleships, 3 carriers, 5 cruisers, 9 destroyers, 8 submarines, 4 interceptors, 4 naval bombers, and 4 tactical bombers down, we are not looking too good. So we have put our economy back into a full wartime production, and we are really producing ships. Now, I was able to save a few submarines, and they're just grouping up at the moment to help Alberta get the rest of his ships across so we can enact our revenge. So, yeah, this was a really sad moment for me in the game. If I had been around and had been able to control the battle, it would have gone a lot better. We would have been able to very easily outmaneuver and destroy the national Chinese fleet. Well, at least I'd like to think. But hey, you can't win them all. So luckily though, we still have the second fleet, which is further down south. That there isn't intact, but due to the fact I now lost the first fleet, we're going to have trouble getting aircraft down here to reinforce the second fleet that you're seeing right now. So as we can see, although it does have some aircraft, it doesn't have the number of aircraft we need. But I'm still going to have to press into action, or else we are going to lose initiative. Well, actually, we already lost initiative in the north, but we can still try and claim the initiative in the south. Now, if we can bring all of these ships down here to the south, then by the time my reinforcements get here as well, it should be an even battle. Now, this time what I am going to do, though, is I am going to be more careful, and I am going to retreat. I'm going to cover my paths, and we're going to have to do a lot more scouting. What I put that loss down to last night, it was though I sent my ships to retreat and fall back while I was away, I didn't check the path and the areas around. I just assumed that, hey, wasn't it, actually fighting this guy yet? And he targeted me with his subs, and it all went bad from there. So we've also pulled a lot of submarines off our sub wall in the east, in the west, so they're now grouping up to assist our other units. So if we jump forwards to the next day, a little bit more progress has been made by both sides in Europe and in Asia. If we have a look at the world's wealthiest nations, or who's not spending their money efficiently, actually at this point in the game, I'm going to take that back. If you got money, good for you, use for spying. If you got money early game though, you're probably wasting it. There's no good holding it. It's not like you get interest off it. It's not like it's a bank. But yeah, later game, if you've got heaps of money, that is definitely a bonus right there, as it enables you to very easily spam out spies in large numbers. So there is that right there. So if we have a look on the index of nations, we can see that on day 29 we are in 7th place, and we are at war with Indochina, and somehow the United Kingdom has returned. We think this is a glitch, but we're not entirely sure. So we're just hitting the mods up about it at the moment and making sure that that's not the case. And it turns out that it was just a bug, it's just a glitch. He is still inactive. So there was that issue there, and that gave us a bit of a fright because the United Kingdom was definitely keeping them in the fight. As we were going into land and the United Kingdom was kicked, we were actually pretty scared. In fact, me and King Kongo did question a retreat, as the number of rockets and aircraft in the areas couldn't be overcome. It would have been very easy for the United Kingdom just to spam some rockets out and immediately destroy our convoys on the beach. We considered a full retreat and trying again later on. However, the United Kingdom going inactive gave us the confidence we needed to finish the job. So this is what's happening in Europe at the moment. As we can see, it's not all that much. We can see that in the Mediterranean Sea we have ships of nearly all of our nations moving around and participating in the attack. One of the key reasons we need to cut off and control the Mediterranean is so that troops from Africa and troops from Europe cannot cross over and reinforce the other. Now if we come back on down into East Asia, we can see that our battle group has finally moved into position, and at the moment we're just bombing out enemy submarines and just hitting small targets. Luckily at this point though, we have a range advantage on our battleships and we're about to use it. As we can see, the Indo-Chinese fleet is about to cross over the other side of land, and that's going to present us with a unique opportunity where our battleships will be able to fire on his, but his will not be able to return fire, and they'll have to cross all the way around that little peninsula to be able to return fire. So we're going to make the most of that. So there's not really much more to say. In the coming days there's definitely a lot more action, and I'll fill you guys in on that as it happens. So thank you for watching, thank you for your patience. And I mean, I haven't had one angry comment yet about how late this episode is, so I mean, either you guys forgot about me briefly, or you don't care. So I mean, hey, thanks for not getting all shitty.